Well, good Saturday to you, Tennessee Valley. It is just after 8:30 here on Saturday morning, March 14th. We got some changes coming here across the Tennessee Valley. Not today. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday. Temperatures in the mid-70s, sunshine, low humidity, really everything you want. Now, tomorrow clouds will build in, but still going to be nice for most of Sunday with the exception of a few passing showers. Sunday night into Monday, that's when we're tracking our next round of impactful weather. We're going to be in storm alert weather mode beginning at midnight Monday throughout the day, because we're not only looking at the threat of severe weather, but we could have a few snowflakes falling after that cold air crashes down behind that front. But the onset of storms likely begins between about 12 or 2 a.m. for Van Buren, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, Grundy, Marion, Jackson, Dade, and DeKalb counties down in northeast Alabama, or 11 to 1 Central Time, depending on what time zone you live in. Between 1 and 3 for Ray, Meigs, McMinn, Hamilton, Bradley, Catoosa, Whitfield, Murray, Gordon, Walker, and Chattooga counties, and for our easternmost communities between 2 and 4. So Monroe, Polk, Cherokee, Clay, down into Fannin and Gilmer counties. That's roughly when the onset of storms will begin. So as we take a look at our in-house model, again, we'll fast forward to Sunday. A lot of cloud cover, little bit of rain possible throughout the day, just some light sprinkles. So if you have any big plans tomorrow, I'm not seeing any issues. Sunday night before you go to bed, you absolutely need to go ahead and set those alerts on your phone, because this front's going to come through, and look at that leading edge of storms. Again, we're going to go back and actually pause this during one of these frames. Look at that. So leading edge along that front starts to work in. Pikeville, Dunlap. Notice your timestamp there at the top, 1 a.m. And then as we continue until about 2, this is just going to march very quickly to the east. And it's that leading edge of this squall line where we're going to have the potential for some really strong wind gusts. I'm talking in excess of 60 miles per hour. I think there's a really good shot we will have at least severe thunderstorm warnings out of this, because there's going to be a ton of wind energy. Isolated power outages certainly going to be possible, some trees coming down. This is probably the best setup we've had for severe weather so far this season. There's not going to be a ton of instability, but the wind profiles are going to be impressive, and some of that could get pulled down to the surface. So we'll have to watch that pretty quickly. And look at this storm. It's going to be very dynamic. I mean, on the northern end, blizzard conditions for Wisconsin and parts of Michigan. For us, we're going to get some pretty strong storms, and we may even get a few flakes. But after that initial line starts to move east, it's really going to be the front end where we're going to see the severe threat. This behind the leading edge of storms is generally going to be rain and thunder through the morning. Notice by about 5 a.m. Eastern, well, some of that blue starts to show up. So what's going to happen is temperatures are going to drop like a rock on Monday. I mean, after that front starts to pass to the east, we're dropping, and we're dropping fast. And we're going to see that rain transition to some snow showers in the higher elevations while staying rain in the valley for a longer period of time. Then we have that surge of moisture that moves off to the east. But there are indications that there could be a secondary little batch of moisture that develops as another little disturbance tries to swing through in the back end of all this. That could lead to some snow showers developing mid-morning on Monday into the early afternoon. Now, in the valley, even though we probably will see flakes out of this system, unless it really hammers down and we get a prolonged period of some snow, which I highly doubt, we're not going to see any accumulation. Now, the Cumberland Plateau, the Metro Mountains, North Georgia Mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains into western North Carolina, East Tennessee, light dusting to 1/2 of an inch, so sure, certainly within the realm of possibility. But I would say there's a pretty good chance of us seeing flakes even in northwest Georgia and northeast Alabama, because those temperatures are going to drop so quickly. So essentially we're going from a severe risk to maybe seeing a few flakes within 6 hours of each other. This little batch of moisture continues to move off to the east. Again, if we do get any snow, it'll be a very quick burst. And then throughout the rest of the day, the Cumberland Plateau, Sequatchie, Bledsoe County is going to get more into that northwest flow. So you guys may see some lingering snow showers for much of the day. And some of those may even sneak into the valley. So just a shock to the system, if you will, as this all moves through. But let's talk about the severe threat. That's what I'm more concerned with here. Between 1 and 6. And 6 is probably pretty late in the game. That would be towards Murphy. Again, you're really only going to get about an hour or two of severe risk, because as soon as that line, that leading edge, moves through, we're going to get stable air starting to move in on the backside of all this. But we do have a level 2 out of 5 risk here across the Tennessee Valley, pretty much our entire coverage area. As we zoom out a little bit, there is a high-end risk. Well, not high-end risk. This is actually enhanced level 3 out of 5 for West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, parts of Mississippi, Northwest Alabama. These areas along the Mississippi River, that's where we could really see, the threat for 70, 80 mile per hour straight line winds and a better tornado threat as well. But again, I'm not going to discount the tornado threat here either. When you get these types of systems in March along those squall lines, sometimes you'll get some rotation, and that can lead to brief spin up tornadoes. So we'll have to watch that. A 2% chance within a 25-mile radius, a higher risk, and get into that 5% chance across parts of West Tennessee. So again, the better dynamics for tornadoes will set up to our west, but we're not going to rule it out. It's certainly within the realm of possibility. I'm more concerned about the severe threat, and there is the chance that we could easily get 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts with some of this. So of course we'll have to watch that. The highest wind threat going to be in parts of Kentucky, West Tennessee, closer to the Mississippi River. So a very dynamic system. I mean, we're talking severe risk all the way up to Michigan, plus the chance for 24 inches of snow in parts of Wisconsin and northern Michigan. So again, just your classic, we'll call it a March doozy, if you will. But look at this temperature gradient as this moves through. So again, Sunday afternoon, 70s again. But look at this front. It's going to be slicing across Monday. So our high temperatures on Monday are going to be at midnight, and then we're going to drop. Look at this drop off. I mean, this is going to be a sharp temperature gradient. So we'll be, all the way down to 40 in Altamont, still in the 60s in Murphy. So that temperature drop is going to be significant. And by the time we wake up on Monday morning, we'll likely be in the 30s. Wind chills will be even colder than that because there's going to be a lot of wind with this system. And then look at that, all the way down to potentially freezing by mid-morning as some of that snow tries to redevelop behind this system. So, of course, we'll have to watch that, especially along the Cumberland Plateau. Why do I think they have a better chance of seeing maybe a dusting half of an inch? Well, here's the thing. It's going to be much colder. Temperature's going to drop down into the 20s, while we're kind of going to be borderline here in the valley. So even if we got a heavier burst of snow, I highly doubt it would stick on anything. And then we'll slowly climb back into the upper 30s before falling off into, yes, the teens in the higher elevations, low to mid-20s here across the Tennessee Valley. Hard freeze Monday night into Tuesday, and then again Tuesday night into Wednesday. But again, here's our in-house model, snow potential. Again, the ground's going to be pretty warm as some of this is falling, but, some of the mountain communities, northern Sequatchie, parts of Bledsoe, Van Buren, Grundy, even Marion, even the metro mountains, again, you could get, some very light accumulations. A better chance of seeing accumulating snow as that northwest flow kicks in along the Tennessee-North Carolina line. Now, the GFS is continuing to be more bullish. This is a very unlikely scenario. I am showing it to you. I don't think we're going to see this much snow. I do think we will see snowflakes, but this is a boom scenario and a very unlikely one at that. But, I'm showing you this just to show you that there are other things that you'll probably see floating around here on the interweb, because again, this system is going to affect a lot of people across the country. Those wind chills likely to be down into the teens as we get into Tuesday morning as well. So a lot of wind energy with this system. Likely Sunday through Monday we'll see gusts upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour. Those are non-thunderstorm winds. Severe threat early Monday morning, very cold as we're waking up, and then we could see some snow showers by mid-morning. And again, this is just going to be one of those days where you want to have your alerts on, especially Sunday night to early Monday morning. And then Monday night, 25. Tuesday night, 27. So you thought winter was over. Not so fast. Now, the first day of spring is on Friday, and we are going to bounce back into the 70s. But again, we'll have to watch this system closely. It's not uncommon to see these strong March systems. They happen every year. We get cold air colliding with warm air. We get really powerful systems, a lot of wind energy this time of the year. So just pay close attention to the weather. We're probably going to have some power outages as that squall line moves through. And we're going to continue with the gusty winds after the storms move out as well. So that's something that's kind of on the back of my mind that I'm going to watch for. Of course, David will be in Sunday night. I'll do a handoff, and I'll have you covered Monday morning. And we'll be on Facebook. We'll be streaming on air whatever is necessary as this system really starts to take shape. So that's a detailed weather briefing. I know it was a little long this morning, but hopefully you watched the whole thing. Please like and share. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll have those links below. And of course, if you enjoy this content, follow me on Facebook as well. I'd love to have you here. Hope you have a great day. Take care.